Everyone probably has someone in their life that they truly admire. That person for me is my dad. My dad has been a cancer survivor, a heart attack survivor, and a role model for me. The first thing is a cancer survivor. My dad started showing signs that he was like not being the same. He was very lethargic, and at the time I was around 5, 6 years old, so I didn't really notice anything, and my mom just told me that he was sick. Um, but then my mom started noticing that he was acting very different. He was sleeping a lot, and so she insisted that he got tested to see if anything was wrong. And it came back, and we found out that he had cancer. So all this time, I still not knowing what is wrong. So he's going through treatment. He got surgery, and my mom just said that he was like feeling sick, and that they had to do surgery, and he's better now. And so after that, through the treatment program, it just had to be a few medications that he was on, and then the surgery made him better. And then after that, we would just have to go through routine checkups every year to make sure that the cancer does not come back. The next thing is a heart attack survivor. So recently, a couple weeks ago, my dad had a heart attack. Good thing that they caught it in time at the doctor's. Before I left to work, he was very normal, acting all the same, being very energetic. But then I went to work, and then I saw that they went to the hospital. Um, so he was experiencing chest pains. He was clenching his chest. My mom saw him on the ground, and they hurried up and took him to the hospital. After we ended up finding out that it was due to all the times he was working. He was working 16-hour days for 7 days a week, and then the times he did have off, he would use it to paint around the house since we just moved back. And it was just too much for him, and he's around 56, 57 years old, so it's just too much for him to handle. The next thing is that he's a role model to me. So my dad has stood up to bullies for me. In middle school, I was bullied for my skin color. I lived in Kansas. I was predominantly a white area, and I was one of the only people of color that was there. So I was bullied heavily in my 7th and 8th grade year, and then my friends who were white were bullied for being friends with me. But that didn't stop them from being friends with me, thankfully. And because of that, I told my dad I was very upset about going to school because of that happening. So he came to the school and he talked to the bullies for me, and he handled the situation. I was never bullied again by them or throughout the rest of my school year, because everybody knew that he came to the school and that he defended me, and that they'd have to go through him if they tried to bully me or anything like that. Another thing is that he's an immigrant. So he's from Barbados. So he moved here when he was 12. He lived on a farm, and he would wake up every day at 4 a.m., feed the chickens, the goats, all that type of stuff, and then he would go to school. But he was very motivated to get his degree. So him and his family, which is my grandma and grandparents, and him and his brothers all moved to America to get a better life. And so I put him as a role model as well, because he got his bachelor's and then he got his master's, and he is a CFO in financing, and those type of people tend to be very successful financially and very smart people, and so that's why he's a role model to me. So today I've told you about my dad and how much I admire him and why I admire him. He is a cancer survivor, he's a heart attack survivor, and he is a role model to me. It is usual for someone to be a personal figure, parental figure, and admire all the things that they do, since they are older and people look up to them, which is why I chose him, and that's why I chose him. Thank you.